My name is Adam Buker. I seek to tell stories, though my work isn't known yet. I am only one small voice. Good morning, long time no see. This is Adam Buker, and this is the second episode of One Small Voice. Now, in the first one, I talked about the idea that I'm going to go ahead and set up a videography studio in the next couple years. I'm actually kind of deciding against that, and let me tell you why. Not that I'm against the idea in total, but really, to be honest, there's a lot that's going on in my personal life, including some exciting news I can't really share at the moment. But the thing is, I have very, very limited time. In fact, excuse me while cleaning my glasses. My time is so limited that I haven't even been able to record, edit, and upload new episodes of content to my YouTube channel like I've been wanting to do. Yeah, that's a little better. So the thing is, I've thought about it, and I think we've basically got about 2 years before we're going to be able to buy a house. Or even look at buying a house. So, I'm thinking of taking the next 2 years to work on a project that I started way back in 2011, before my eldest child was born. And I want to see if I can get that completed in the next 2 years, because to me, it's the most important thing I could be doing with my work right now. And of course, if you haven't already figured it out, I'm talking about my novel. Now, my novel, it allows me to say many different things. My novel allows me to talk about many different aspects and many different ideas and put it into a compelling fictional story. And I think one of the great things that novels and great art can do is it gets us to not only feel intensively, but to think intensely. To think about the ideas that shape our world, that shape ourselves. To get us to question even the most basic of our ideas, and to see the world in a different light. And so it's with this kind of passion and purpose that I really want to pursue this series of novels. One of the things I aim to achieve is showing how anybody can rise up and shape themselves into becoming heroes in their own right. You know, one of my favorite authors, Ayn Rand, she said that the purpose of her fiction was to portray the ideal man. I suppose in my fiction, one of my goals, one of many goals I have, is to show how a person can go from being what they are at whatever their current status, and showing the climb that it takes to become an ideal version of themselves. And one of the ways I'm going to go about doing this is by showing my main character, my main protagonist, Victoria, And she's gonna start off not so different from your typical insecure kind of loner teenager. Honestly, in some ways, I kind of aim to portray her as maybe like a female teenage version of myself at that age, including all the naivete, ignorance of how the world works, a certain kind of trusting innocence that also can tend to lead one of that age to getting hurt and put in some terrible situations. But also this kind of youthful optimism that I think is hard to retain as one ages into one's adult years. And I do this in what I'm trying to portray as a very fantastical setting, to say the least, And it's going to be a real challenge because that's the other part of what I'm aiming to achieve with this novel. You see, I don't want to write a utopian novel or a dystopian novel. There are so many of those out there, and there are so many good examples of those. When I'm trying to craft Organon, I'm trying to create what I think is approaching the best possible system that we could achieve, given the fact that humans are imperfect, but capable of so much good. And so it really has gotten me to think a lot about how our societies are formed and what, if anything, could be changed about them. What could be better? What could be different? Where could we be at technologically? But not just technologically. How is our society organized? What is the culture like? I have so many of my friends post such interesting and creative things on their Facebook pages. Me personally, if you were to go through my Facebook page, you'd see just a whole bunch of meaningless memes. And the thing is, I realize that in my personal life, things that are most precious, the most valuable, that mean the most to me, I keep those off of Facebook and social media. And I think there's a lot of people like that. It's like, I'll do anything for a laugh on Facebook, but when it comes to sharing art that I'm interested in, music that I love listening to, or even the things that I'm creatively working on, or the ideas that I think about, it's like I'm more reluctant to share that kind of, to share those aspects of myself. Part of it is because our culture, it kind of takes a shrug to achievement, doesn't it? Which is a very unfortunate thing, because I do think there are a lot of artists, a lot of creators, a lot of thinkers, a lot of businessmen that are doing great things, but we don't hear about it often enough. Instead, we're focused on so much of the culture wars, where we have different factions, the alt-right, the centrist, the social justice warriors. So many people duking it out, and so many people going down each other's throats, forgetting how to be human beings to each other. But the thing is, I've seen a lot of cultural change over the last 20 years. And most of it sickens and frightens and angers me. But rather than, just getting up and starting a channel or launching diatribes against the corruption and evil I see in the world today, I'd rather take a different stance and show the world that I think is possible. Show the kind of world that I would like to live in. And show what kind of people inhabit such a world and how it can come into being. When I think of my chance to portray the ideal in fiction, and hopefully later maybe even make movie versions of these novels, all of a sudden it seems like starting a videography business doesn't seem so important. Although that would be work that would pay the bills. But let's hold that thought for a moment. I like doing videography and I think it is creative. But ultimately, it's a lot of work to set up that kind of business, to get the clients, to set up a process where you can shoot and edit and deliver client projects on time and on budget to the client's specifications. It's difficult. And then on top of that, you've got to manage your customer relations. And you've got to build a clientele base that not only becomes repeat business, but can also spread the word of your business to other potential clients. And the thing is, it's good work. But for me, I wonder, it would be maybe a short-term solution for getting us out of poverty. But then the long-term thing, what I really want to do is the novel. And I know that. I want to do the novel and continue working on music and this YouTube channel. But none of these things are immediate payoffs. They take a lot of time. And if I pursue them, then I have to pursue them knowing that my family's financial situation is not likely to improve. And there's the rub. You know what it is that your heart is telling you that you want to do. But you also know what your family needs is different from that. And that's a struggle. So, who knows? Maybe I'm making the right choice in this. Maybe not. But time and reality will tell. And the thing is, who's to say that I couldn't still do a videography business and still try to do the novel as well? The only thing it means delaying the dream even further than it already has been. But anyway, this is a collection of my own random thoughts. Anyway, if any of you are out there working on your own creative projects, feel free to drop me a line about what they are and what they mean to you. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and say peace and have a great day.